Hello, everybody, and welcome back to a brand new week of Pick and Roll, the daily NBA betting shows on weekdays right here on the Board HQ, the Hammers NBA content division. On this show, we go through NBA free picks, and today we have two NBA free picks for you guys to enjoy for the Monday slate. So, before we get into that, make sure you guys hit the like button if you're going to be tailing these plays. You want to support the show, and subscribe to the channel. Keep up to date with all the content we have here. As I said, me and Pips are live 9:45 a.m. Eastern time every weekday morning. You do not want to miss out on the content. All right, let's get into the picks right away here. We have one that's seen some movement here. So live viewers are treated to this one to start us off here. We're going to be going to the Hornets and the Bulls to grab Terry Rozier under on his points. It's at 24.5, -125 at BetMGM and at DraftKings, whichever sports book you prefer to use there. You can go for the under 24.5 on Terry Rozier. For the second play, we have an SGP available at BetMGM. You can get in the Rockets and Heat game. We're fading our guy Alperen Şengün here. A tragic day, but unfortunately, if the spot is where it is, we know Pips wears this shirt sometimes, the data over feelings shirt. Are you wearing it right now as well? The data over
Yeah,
feelings? There you have it.
yeah,
Data
that's
over
because of
feelings.
Shingun. Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's what it is for Şengün. We have under 25.5 points, and the game alt total under 228.5 points. In my region, this was a little bit different, but if you have access to ESPN Bet, you can get Şengün under 25.5 points and the game total under 227.5 at plus 100 odds at ESPN Bet. As we have it on the show, it'll be -120 at BetMGM. So Şengün 25.5, game alt total 228.5 in the Rockets and Heat game. Let's go back to the Terry Rozier play here to start us off here. Talk to us about Terry Rozier and why we're going to fade him against the Bulls. I mean, we've
I
done this a
mean,
lot.
we
Like
are
that,
kind
yeah.
of, doing it a lot, and we are doing it mostly against pick and roll ball dominant players. And if you can see this pick and roll ball handler, he's scoring 34% of his total points via pick and roll ball handler. Bulls are number one pick and roll ball handler defense. They are also allowing the least points by far, the least points to opposing point guards. And additional part, they played just 2 days ago, and Terry had only 15 points in a close game. So even like they were down 10, and he started shooting some crazy shots and got up to 17 attempts. And I don't see Terry covering this with 17 attempts. And out of those 17 attempts in the last game, 15 were like very, very well defended. Him taking off balance, fading away jump shots because he couldn't get anything open. Bulls are overall on the season a great transition defense. They had some troubles lately, but in the last game against the Hornets, they were good there, and they don't allow free throws, which is kind of Terry also kind of the way Terry scores. So if you take a look overall, very difficult matchup for Terry Rozier in all parameters, and we are getting 24 and a half. It's not like he's going over this line a lot this season. If you take a look at the last 8 games, he's under in 5, even though he played some good matchups. I mean, even against the Pacers, he only scored 25, and that's the perfect matchup. Like Bulls are complete opposite, and I just don't see it for Terry. He will need to have like crazy efficient game. And as I said, if you take his field goal attempts in the last game, they were all crazy difficult, off balance, fading away shots. So yeah, I don't see him having a great efficiency in this game.
Okay, good stuff for the first play, fading point guards against the Bulls. The most recent example wasn't a winner, but we have had success there this season. Let's go to the other play here, reiterating that depending on your region, you may not get the 25.5 on Şengün at MGM. ESPN Bet and in Ontario, the score bet will have the plus 100 odds for Şengün at the same price, the same number, under 25.5 points, but the game all total at 227.5 instead of 228.5. We have it here -120 at BetMGM. We have the 228.5 and Şengün under 25.5, -120 BetMGM. We've had a lot of success with Şengün overs this season. So how come we're going to go to an under now for Alpi, our guy?
Also, I'll say I'm okay with half a unit on his 22 and a half under for for some people that don't get this one. And I think maybe DraftKings has under 24 and a half. So I'm kind of good with that too for half a unit. So I think that's good to
Okay.
get money on this. Yeah, the Bema Adebayo, man, and how they defend. So this is these are the numbers on defense. I mean, pick and roll. Shengun is one of the most dominant pick and roll man scorers in the entire league. We are looking at 13 best defensive rating from Miami, but they played half the season without Bema Adebayo, so that number is even better. Lately, he's scoring a lot of his points, and we can see here second most dominant play type free throws. Miami just don't allow free throws, and they'll double hit any post up and or transition. I think we'll see a lot of zone defense against the Rockets because they like lack some shooting. So yeah, transition also great defense from Miami, and they allow the least points to opposing centers. So yeah, this is a very difficult matchup for Shingun. They will clog the middle, and that's where he operates. And they will double team his post ups. That's also the way he operates. I can see still a good game for Shingun with like 20 points, 10 rebounds, and like 6 to 7 assists in this game. But I don't think we can see 25 or more against this kind of defense. So yeah, and game total, two teams playing a slower pace, two teams struggling to score, two teams with great defenses. Yeah, this should be. And both teams struggle in half court, and both teams are amazing defending transition. So we'll see a lot of half court possessions, and we'll see a lot of late shot clock terrible shots taken in this game because both teams will struggle on offense and will have a good defensive game. If you take a look at the last couple of games, I mean, Rockets held the game against the Bucks was under 120, so 220, and Bucks are usually known for high scoring games. I mean, Rockets defense is just the way how they win the games. And if they want to win against Miami, they need to hold them below 110 points. And I think with that said, this total should stay under.
All right, so there we have it for those two plays for today. Reminder, ESPN bet as well. If you don't have access to that MGM line that we had put up at 25 and a half. Also, you can check out DraftKings to play a similar price. But those are the two plays that we have for today. Looking to start the week on a positive note. But I also today wanted to discuss briefly. Well, actually, before we discuss anything, we have to go through the recap of the Monday plays. Unfortunately, for the Monday plays, I mean, it culminates down. It
Friday.
was good. We were 2-2. It culminates down to the last play of the day was a Domantas Sabonis hook on two free throws. The very next play he fouls out. Our hook counter is looking pretty ugly this season. 3-8 on bets that end on 0.5 above or under at a certain threshold as well. So we're not counting. If it lands on four assists when we have over 4.5, that's not going into this. But the hooks, 3-8, which has been really tough, and it was a 2-3 day as a result. But on the week, it was a small loss in the end because of that, minus basically a quarter of a unit on the week. We did have success with the Pistons SGP. We had success with a Jordan Poole under. I think Jordan Poole didn't even sniff 18.5 points. I don't even think he sniffed 10 points in this game, if I remember correctly. And the losers were Trae Young on the over, did not come close. And Jared Allen, his points, assists, rebounds. Jared Allen did sort of come close, but the overall blowout was an issue there. But Pips, do you want to discuss overall the slate? Your thoughts on this one, the 2-3 day?
Young, just great spot. I'll bet him again.
I mean, look where it
Insane
closed. It
value,
closes
I think,
it
on
closes,
that bet.
it closes 29 and a half. We get a whole almost an entire point difference. It closed at
Yeah.
minus 115. We had 120.
Yeah, it was insane. Just he couldn't get his shot up. He was 1 from 11 from 3 points. He may miss two straight wide open layups. He missed some free throws. Like just stinker game. You can't do anything about it. Like was a smash spot for Trae Young, and also they got blown out. Like they allowed 150 points. It was insane. But yeah, that was the loser. Jared Allen lost because of a blowout. He had 10 points in the first half, scored one bucket in the third quarter, and got pulled out because of a huge blowout. I mean, yeah, I took these lower lines, same game parlay, because I was afraid of a blowout. Didn't go on from straight PRAs, but yeah. Then Duran, pretty sweat free, I would say. Jordan Poole, Mitchell. Mitchell was a bit sweat, but he covered early into the third. So yeah, Jordan
Yeah.
Poole was easy. Also blowout thing. If it wasn't a blowout, Mitchell would be like 35, maybe even more. And then we came. I'm honestly hurt to trash talk about your Raptors every
Go
time.
ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, but this was one of the worst defensive games. I mean, I'm not surprised when I see like Pistons Saka defense, when I see like I don't know in Pacers Saka defense, but this was just insane level of poor defense by the Raptors. Usually, when there are defensive schemes in the league. When someone is poor at defending pick and roll ball handlers, that means they are probably doing well against the rollmans. If someone is doing poor at both, that means they are allowing pick and roll and they are taking away spot up and everything else, threes and stuff. But you somehow suck against ball handlers,
None of
suck
it.
against the rollman, and suck against spot up at the same time. Like it was insanity of the game, and you almost came back and won. Like it's insane how poor defense
Yeah.
King played too. So, but every time someone set a pick and roll pick and pocket pass to Sabonis, it was free buckets for him. There is no Jacob, there is no like anyone on this team that was even close to stopping them. And then he got into foul trouble. And I'm like, okay, we could maybe win this. 20 points, he had 20 and five fouls. He scored
Yeah.
one bucket on some pick, and then like 22 points, 2 minutes left. He got wide open below the rims. Like it was insane. Like it's close game, two possession game. You are guys trying to catch up, and you leave Sabonis wide open under the rim, and then
Yep.
Boucher got close and fouled him. Two free throws. We need him to miss one. He makes both. Next possession, he's fouled out.
Yeah, and the first half is where the Raptors defense was really bad, and also their offensive rebounding. The Kings, I think, had eight, or it was either eight, or I think it was eight first half offensive rebounds. Sabonis obviously features very heavily there. So he had 16 first half points. So yeah, this is a game I was watching. I couldn't really explain why the Raptors defense was so bad, because like they literally weren't doing anything. Like you'd think, okay, they're trying to take this away, so this is being left on, but they weren't covering anything. And the Kings had 77 first half points. Now they fixed up second half, but yeah, schematically that was a poor showing there. But
Yeah.
unfortunate on the loss, it is what it is. That's one that we swallow. We've had to swallow a lot of these tough losses this season, but didn't harm the week too much overall. Hopefully, we start to set things straight this week. Some really good numbers, as I said last week. I mean, we see with the Mitchell play as well. Some of the other ones also, we got some good close. The Jordan Poole one, the 18.5 alt line went to 16.5. So that one showed some success, but hopefully we have the two plays today that are going to help a lot. All right, two questions from the chat here I wanted to discuss. First of all, quickly, we have a question about the stats that we pulled up for Şengün and for Terry Rozier. Are these stats coming from the website that you're currently working on?
Yeah, so I'm creating, as I said already, this is just one feature of my site that I'm currently working on. Not I'm working on, I have engineers and some people way better than me with programming for
You're
working on.
overseeing the work.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I'm working on these play types. I'll have some shooting charts from the T player and from the opposing teams, some filters for graphics for defensive rating, pace. So how some players do against the teams that are poor, perform against the team that are high in pace or slow pace against different kind of defensive rating. So yeah, it will be interesting. I'm trying to make like when I'm doing my research, I have like 15 tabs open all the time, going through everything manually, and it takes like 30 minutes to research one player. I'm trying to make a site that will have like one screen, everything on one screen, everything you need to have is on one screen, all the data, and just you can do that manually takes 30 minutes. You can do it like in 1 to 2 minutes on one screen for every player. And yeah, that's the idea. It's currently work in progress. I'm working on it every day with my team of people. And yeah, I don't think maybe like next week or 2 weeks we'll have something ready. But it's so far for private use and it's like in beta, I would say. So we'll see what the future brings.
Okay. So keep that in mind, everybody, when those
If,
sort of stats come
if,
up
if
potentially.
anyone wants to be a part of beta, you can shoot me a DM on Twitter at PipsNBA, so I'll add you to the list so you can be one of early users.
There you go. So potentially some exciting stuff on the horizon there. Another question came in. This kind of coincides with what I also wanted to ask here. But even though they lost yesterday to the Lakers are very weird. The Los Angeles Clippers have really turned a corner since the James Harden trade. And perhaps in particular, James
System,
Harden.
baby.
Sorry?
System. I am a system, baby.
And in particular, James Harden's turned a bit of a corner here. James Harden has looked terrific in the recent stretch of games. You're obviously a James Harden fan, as we know on the show. To talk to us about the Clippers and how they've managed to turn things around so sharply. They are now sitting at fourth in the Western Conference with a 22-13 record.
I mean, I said I'm a system, baby. I don't think if you remember when he said it on the press conference, and
Yeah,
people mocked him, and now they look stupid because yeah, he is a system. Kawhi Leonard and Paul George are shooting the most spot-up shots ever, I think, and they are getting the best looks. I think they got like from the entire career. If you take a look, like they are winning because Kawhi and PG not doing much isolation stuff. They are getting attacking off the good pass of the James Harden creation. James Harden is like having like 9 to 10 assist average. I mean that's a bit number low, but that's without playing so much pick and roll. When he played pick and roll with Embiid, like it's easy, just pocket pass and it's an assist. Here it's a bit difficult to create for the wings, and he's doing a great job. And they are doing great. I mean, team with Terrence Mann, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Ivica Zubac, and shouldn't have any struggles on defensive end. They should be always like above average defensive team. So it was a matter of time just to open up the offense. And over the last, I mean, month or so, month and a half, their offense looked great with James Harden running things. They put Westbrook on the bench. He's doing his part in 15 to 20 minutes of the bench. And they are not they are staggering his and James Harden minutes, so they are not at the same time on the floor, maybe even less than 5 minutes a game. So that works well for them, and I just, yeah, I'm glad that James Harden is proving people wrong
of
for
course.
how many times. So yeah, he's still a good guy. And
All right.
also, one part of the James Harden thing is his efficiency. He's shooting 43% from three this season. That's career
That's
high.
yeah. It was just a
So
bit of a time period for him to settle in with L in LA and everyone to get used to him. But since then, this team is flying, and they've been mostly healthy as well. Like here and there, Kawhi, PG are missing games, but nowhere near to the extent of last season. They aren't resting they aren't resting really at all. They're just if they're healthy, they're playing this season. I think that's also helping build cohesion with this team. It's not always a question every day like, are these guys even going to play today?
but I'll say, like, I think this is a career high efficiency for both Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. And that's because James Harden creates for them. They don't need to take inefficient, self-created shots. They are getting the most assist, the highest assist to shots they had in their career.
Yeah, I'm looking at Kawhi's efficiency numbers this season. Has never shot this well from three before. Not even close. Last season, he shot 41.6% from three. Sorry. There's one season. There was a season, his first All Star season, he shot better than this from three with 44.3 in San Antonio. But he,
Yeah, but he
efficiency
was
wise,
also, yeah, but
yeah,
those seasons at Spurs, he was also in like Let
Yeah, yeah.
create for me. So
He was
in
like fourth
head,
option
like
with that team as well.
yeah, and that's it. And now he averaged way more attempts and way more points. So it's
Yeah. Oh, no, no, for sure. This is like one of the most impressive ones. And if I'm going to look at Paul George as well here, but for Kawhi in particular, I mean, even just watching Kawhi, it's just so much easier for him to play. For Paul George, as far as efficiency is concerned, yeah, even like going back to like the prime Paul George days, he's been in and around this area before. He was like slightly better than his current field goal percentage, 45.8. As far as his 3-point percentage, he's 40.8 right now. He's been there before, but the relative ease at which they're doing this compared to like laboring in past years is impressive, and definitely should be a testament
yeah.
to James Harden's creation. So far so good with this James Harden situation. If this team stays healthy, there's no overwhelming team I think in the Western Conference. Like the Clippers are starting to creep up to, they're 2.5 games behind the Nuggets. They're 1.5 games behind the Thunder. They're 3 games
But
behind the Timberwolves. They're right there.
also Ivica Zubac averaged by far career high in points because
Oh, he's loving the pick and roll.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, he made Capella look like an all-star in the Houston Rockets days. So it's so easy to play. Like he was averaging like 70, 16, 17 points a game. And now, I mean, we will see even bigger difference because Capella had some crazy career luck. First playing with James Harden and then next playing with Trey Young, which is like I don't know, like one of the best possibles like teammates for players like Capella to be part of.
I agree. Capella, I think, still sort of living off that reputation
Yeah,
from the past. I think that's still helping him today with his valuation in the league. So yeah, the James Harden effect over there is very real, and obviously very real right now for the Clippers. All right, that should do it for the show for today. If you're tailing the 2 picks we have, make sure to hit that like button. Consider subscribing as well for content like this all throughout the week. But the 2 plays we have, first of all, in the Bulls and Hornets game, it's Terry Rozier under 24.5 points. We have that minus 125 at either BetMGM or DraftKings. And then we have in the Rockets and Heat game a minus 120 SGP at BetMGM. There's options for this one. You can take Şengün under 25.5 points and the game alt total under 228.5 at BetMGM. You can't get that. Take the 25.5 points and the game alt total 227.5 for plus 100 odds at ESPN. Or you can go to Şengün under 24.5, which is a line available at DraftKings. So we'll leave some options open there because I know some people are saying they don't have access to that one, but there's other options available to get pretty much the same play, the same handicap involved. So that is the show for today. Thanks so much, everybody who tuned in and watched this one. Me and Pips will be back here tomorrow for more from Pick and Roll, and we hope to see you there.